Here we are going to talk about leadership, the kind of communication that we use if we talk about how leaders are communicating. So agenda is basically emerging perspective of leadership, and we have some weekly tasks, and then we talk about next steps. So if we talk about emerging perspective of leadership, it's basically now things are moving very fast. Things which used to work earlier may or may not work now or in future. So what's the solution? We have to update ourselves as per the current trend. So organizations are trying to be innovative, faster moving, and more responsive to employees who are highly educated and intelligent, and who want more say in the workplace. Now you can understand what is innovative organizations, what is fast moving organizations. Whenever you have any quiz or exam or assignment, how you do that? You're using artificial intelligence systems. With the help of artificial intelligence system, you can get faster response. And why it is possible? Because companies are moving so fast, they have reduced lots of barriers of communications, and they are giving lots of independence and lots of rights to employees, that whatever you think is right, do. This is your department. That's how leadership impact our organizations. In traditional organizations, everything becomes challenging because we need to take approvals in all the phases. That's why traditional organizations are slow, bureaucratic, and new organizations who are moving fast or faster pace. They are encouraging employees to take decisions in their domain because companies understand that those employees are aware of their work and they can contribute to the company very well. All right. So there are new types of leaderships which are evolving to meet demands of these organizations. Now, you cannot have a leader who is kind of autocratic. Means I said this, do this only. And team members must work on those directions. It was good in previous generations because that time everything was fixed. Your machine used to work this way. Obviously, machine is the same, like lathe machine or welding machine. There are some operating procedures how to operate machines well and how to keep machines life long. So whoever had experience of working on those machines and all, they used to give directions and everybody used to follow that. If you don't follow those directions, either you will get accident or machine will be broken down. These kind of challenges companies used to face earlier, and that's why they had different kind of leadership style. But now what is happening, since we already moved to digital era, but now it is more than digital era. It's artificial intelligence. Because of artificial intelligence is so intelligent now, if you give proper input, you may get lots of great answers. But if you are a subject matter expert, you will understand that artificial intelligence is not yet intelligent, which can surpass one intelligent person's intelligence for now. It can give some random answers, biased answers, or kind of above average answers, which will be okay if you have no idea. If you are knowledgeable already, you won't find it very useful. All right. The more recent approaches to leadership move away from the supervisory task of leaders and focus on vision setting activities. So now you just tell your team members that we want to achieve these things. Can you just find out how to do that? Okay, it's not like every day you talk to your team member. Is it done? Is it done? You have to do this. Is it done? That's the micromanagement will not work, or supervisory task will not work now. Okay, we need to work on focus. Okay, our focus should be in vision, right? Like in future, what we are going to achieve. All right. Today, leadership theories also try to explain how certain leaders can achieve extraordinary levels of performance from their followers, and they stress symbolic and emotional appealing leadership behaviors. Okay. Next is from transactional to transformational leadership. So transactional leaders are basically guide or motivate their followers in the direction of established goals by clarifying goals and task requirements. The leader uses rewarding and recognizing behaviors resulting in performance that meets expectations. The leader emphasizes correction and possible punishment rather than reward and recognition. But if we talk about next type of leader, which is transformational leaders, they inspire followers to transcend their own self-interest for the good of the organizations and have a profound and extraordinary effect on their followers. They pay attention to the concerns and developmental needs of individual followers. Transformational leaders change followers' awareness of issues by helping them look at old problems in new ways. They're able to excite, arouse, and inspire followers to extra effort achieve group goals. So, what is going to happen? These kind of leaders always encourage team to put extra efforts to achieve their goals. And goals are not exactly predefined, but those goals are suggested that this is what we are going to achieve and how we are going to achieve, that's your choice. They give lots of liberty to the team members. Okay, what is the characteristic if you talk about transformational and transactional leadership? So transactional leaders have contingent rewards that contracts exchange of reward for effort, promises reward for good performance, recognizes accomplishments. And management by exception is active, like watches and searches for deviations from rules and standards, take corrective actions. Management by exception is passive, like intervenes only when standards are not met. All right. And transformational leaders, charismatic. Okay. They provide vision and sense of mission. Okay. And they include sense of pride and respect and trust. They ask team members that this is our path to go and you select how can we achieve that success. All right. And they inspire team members, they have intellectual stimulations, they promote intelligence, rationality, and they solve problems. And they give personal attention to all the team members. Okay. They identify each and every employee and they coach them and advise them. Now, something is very important. We need to understand that charismatic leadership is required in your life most of the time. But if you ask question why it is required, yeah, it is required because you will be working with people, and people work well only when they feel that their leader is that good. In whenever you spend multiple years in your different companies, your your technical skills or working skills may not be that much useful, but how you manage people, that becomes more useful. So you have to create your image that you are the person that others are going to want to work with you. So that's called charismatic leadership. The charismatic leaders critically examine the status quo with a view to developing and articulating future strategic goals or visions for the organization, and then leading organizational members to achieve these goals through empowering strategies. So, in another definition, charismatic leadership is they understand company well and what company want and encourage employees to achieve that goal. And everybody work with their full responsibility because charismatic leadership is all about building more leaders. Okay, let's talk about this. So it's basically charismatic leaders create a vision within the team, right? And downside is be aware that charismatic leader may become liability to an organization once the crisis is over and the need of dramatic changes subsidized. So the thing is, when you have a charismatic leader, they can solve many problems in difficult situation. But if everything goes well, company used to think, why we need this person? Everything is already good. Okay, I know this is a very difficult situation for everybody. Yeah, because you guys know that charismatic leaders are problem solvers, and they solve problems not for now, they solve for future also. They create systems, they create more leaders, and after working as a charismatic leader, you will be people will think that you're not at all relevant. So what people do in real life, they don't solve future problems. They solve day-to-day problems, and they may uh, create some problems for future. So that management again ask them how to solve that. So I know I should not talk about that, but you should know the reality. Reality is if you will solve everything for your employers, they will think that you are not relevant. So make sure you don't solve all the problems, keep some problems and solve those time to time. So accounting accounting scandals and high-profile bankruptcies facing North American companies, including Enron and WorldCom, point to some of the dangers of charismatic leadership. Okay, it's basically silence criticism. Okay, all right. Next is dispersed leadership. So it's basically spreading leadership throughout the organizations. It's a mentoring. A mentor is often a senior employee who sponsors and supports a less experienced employee. So what is going to happen here? So instead of formal uh, relationship, companies create something like mentorship program. And in mentorship program, senior employee help a new or junior employee so that they can ask many things. If you join a new company, you know that there are some questions like, okay, how to get the payroll and how to apply for leave. And there are many things that you cannot understand in the only first day of introduction or induction sessions. All right. So that's why you need a coach or mentor who will help. And then they will help you with day to day operations, day to day work. So that's how mentorship can help. And they can also help you to build your career. If you came to a wrong department, they are going to help you to get the correct department if required. They provide team leadership. We they also companies can provide team leadership, like everywhere we have multiple teams and they create a team lead, and instead of team members, managers are talking to team leads only. Okay, they can be the bond between this team and outsiders. They can be identified as troubleshooters, and team leads can work as a conflict managers, and they can coach their team members. Next part of leadership is self-leadership. All right. So if we will set goals, team goals, and plan, implement tasks, and everything is there, so people can solve their own problems and they can lead their work properly. It will be helping to leading to reduced level of supervision. Okay. More offices in home, more teamwork, growth in professional employment, right? So self-leaders look opportunities to be more effective and improve their career success. Okay, the behavior of self-leaders are self-enforced. So you don't need somebody who will be managing you. How to create them? So practice self-observation, setting challenging personal goals, self-directions, and self-reinforcement. Never set too easy or too complicated goals. Too easy goals, you won't be able to achieve challenging tasks in future if you keep your goals so easy. If you fix your goals too complicated, and then what is going to happen that you won't be able to achieve and you will be demotivated. Encourage employees to create self goals. Now you should ask your employees, you set your goal and achieve that, right? And encourage the use of self rewards to strengthen and increase desirable behaviors. All right. So create positive thought patterns. Encourage employees to use mental imaginary and self talk to further stimulate self motivation. And we should also encourage self criticism. All right. So next is content contemporary issue in leadership. Now we can ask some questions like, is there a moral dimension to leadership? Okay. Will it impact will gender impact kind of leadership? Do they lead people or teams differently? And since COVID, lots of things are online. Now the question will arise, what is the difference and what are the challenges in online leadership? That's another funny question that we need to answer. All right, we're going to take some break and we'll continue with management